Toma. Hey man.
How's it going, man?
So fine.
You heard about the IMF?
I what?
You don't know what the IMF is? It's the International Monetary Fund, and its main aims is to increase global monetary cooperation and increase exchange stability. Also, really, it works on increasing international trade.
Oh yeah, IMF. Those bastards. Oh, international trade. What are you talking about? But I just heard that the IMF, after entering Haiti, apart from the debt that they left in Haiti because of the help, they also forced them to buy imported subsidized rice from US, and then didn't let.
No.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And then they didn't let Haitian producers subsidize their own rice. They can't compete. And then all the money goes to US because of the subsidized prices.
Well,
It's not fair, man.
yeah, that sounds outrageous, but I actually read that it's actually a choice to join the IMF, and I don't think it's a coincidence that there's 188 member countries.
Wow, one of them is USA.
Yeah,
Wonder why?
Because it works on reducing poverty, even so it works in all countries, even Haiti, as you said, and on increasing economic growth. And basically, it has three ways of doing this. Firstly, they employ actual economists, so professionals, where they do like a yearly review of maybe each country. But more importantly, they actually provide assistance and training. So they're not the only economists; they're actually training other economists in other countries. So it kind of expands constantly. It's like a dynamic firm, kind of. And lastly, they give financial support, and for like any country with economic problems, they can provide financial support. But of course, other member countries have to pay. It's kind of like an insurance bank. You have to pay like a certain amount, but if you have economic problem, you're allowed to get some money from there. But
So you mean that they promote development?
Yes.
But that's wrong. They hate development. They don't like development. Their development models have been proven to be really bad, and in most countries they have really bad consequences. For example, what about the goal of eradicating extreme poverty and hunger? Because 80% of all malnourished children in the developing world live in countries where farmers have been forced by the IMF policies to export their production instead of keeping it for local consumption. So all the exports go to wealthy countries that are benefited from the terms of trade. What about that development, huh?
Well, I do admit that maybe you found one example against IMF, but as I told you again, 188 countries, and for example, I was reading about Mauritius. They've done incredibly well. They were like one of the poorest countries, and due to the IMF, they've done extremely well. The thing is, you have to be a responsible, mature country, because if you ask for the IMF help, you have to accept the IMF policies that it may give you to improve economic development and growth. You have to accept what conditions they tell you, and if you take it seriously, you can be
Conditions?
Yes.
You clearly don't know what happened in Ivory Coast, didn't you?
Ivory Coast. No.
Yeah. Oh, and also, going on to another goal. What about the goal of environmental sustainability? Does IMF fall there?
Well, I think it focuses more on the economic side.
I don't think so.
Uh-oh.
Because in Ivory Coast, because of their incredible dependency on cocoa exports, now they have been forced to destroy 2/3 of the forests due to that dependency. No environment, huh? No time for the environment.
No, but I think we kind of what we can conclude from all this really is
Yeah, the conclusion we can take out of our kind of review of the IMF is that.
Well, I think the idea is quite good because it implements policies to develop a nation and everything, but
They intend to provide support in the form of global liquidity.
yeah, through it.
They usually assist countries that are in a financial crisis and have problems, and they do this in three ways.
Yeah, I said it before, like by the economists reviewing a country each year, by assisting them, and by providing finance. But as I said, as Victor said before,
Then you build the debt, and in the long run,
it's not
debt
worth it.
is
Yeah.
debt.
If you want to ask for money, you're going to get the money, but you're subjective to doing everything kind of America wants. So you go from being a free country to going in their back pocket. So international trade is kind of relative.
IMF is like a trap. If you are in a financial crisis, you're gonna have problems, you're gonna struggle, but you're always gonna get out. It's the cycle. We all know the cycle. But if you are with the IMF, you will get out faster, but you will never get out. You'll be trapped in that debt that the IMF will have with you, and that's a really big problem, especially for developing countries, which are the ones that suffer the most.
Okay, I agree. Thank you.
See you, mate.
See you.